新ロブジラ
Today we're going to be talking about the Mezco 5 points extra large Godzilla Destroy All Monsters 1968 Round 2 box set. Round 2. Ready? What happened to round 1? Well, delays. Mezco's 5 points XL Damn set is finally here, featuring KAHNG GAHDRAH, Gorosaurus, Baragon, and Minya. 85 plus schmackers for a bunch of minifigures? What? Is it even worth it? Let's find out. So we've got 4 friggin' figures to talk about today, so I think we should start with the smallest and move our way to the biggest. When it comes to Minya, son of Godzilla, I'm really enjoying the paint and detail on his body. It looks very, very, very good. But as you can see, we have some random little strays in here, in more than one general area. But the toes are nicely painted, the claws are nicely painted. Minya's ugly as sin face looks, well, ugly as sin, so accurate. The eyes do feel a little off-center, and I don't know whether to call that a quality control issue or them just being very accurate in the fact that this suit was just disgusting. But I really do like all of the different colors at play here, as well as the details, and it really is just everywhere. Even on his lumpy frickin' head and hot dog package neck. Hell, even on the back and on the top of the tail over here. I think Mezco, for the most part, nailed Minya as a whole because, I mean, we all know, this guy is godforsakingly ugly, and I think they captured that rather well. I do feel like the teeth could have been done up a little bit better, and I don't know. Just the way the teeth were done on this thing, like the whole inside of the mouth, I don't know. I just don't know. Moving on, up next is Gorosaurus, who I think looks really dang good. I have heard complaints about his teeth being too big and something to do with his eyes, but genuinely I think they're okay. It's more so just, yet again, the quality control. Yeah, I realize these are mass-produced toys that have to go through a factory, and for the most part I don't think the teeth are terrible, but I do think they could have been done up a lot better. I almost want to say, I don't know if I officially want to say this, but I think the Bandai Movie Monster Series Gorosaurus had a better looking grill than this. Had to take a look, and for the most part, yeah, this $30 figure, the teeth definitely look better. I don't know if that's a genuine fair comparison, but I don't know. $85. Technically $100 after shipping if you order directly from Mezco, which I did and which I paid. That's kind of going to be factored in a little bit when it comes to the quality control on these, a la SH Monster Arts. Now moving away from the teeth, the eyes do look rather nice on both sides. I am loving all the different colors on Gorosaurus's underbelly over here, and I'm especially loving all of the detail that it brings forth to your oculars. It's really, really nice. And yeah, again, the detail, ooh mama, this is really, really nice. Something that this figure did that the Movie Monster Series version didn't is actually have this little patch of this turquoise blue-green going on from the base of Gorosaurus's neck to the most part tip of his tail. This is unpainted, and the little dorsal spikes and nubs are painted all the way to the tip of the tail, but here we go! Yeah, they're a little on the nicked up side. I don't know if that was something that just happened in the box or not, but and they appear to not be fully painted-ish. I don't know, I'm still kind of just drooling all over the magnificent detail present. Even on his little arms over here, they look great. And we've got more paint. I am really loving and enjoying the fact that the insides and undersides of Gorosaurus's arms over here were painted, and still the detail on the bottoms of these things are, oh, so good. Goro Boy's claws are nicely painted as well. The toes are a very thick fungal yellow and are painted on the bottom side as well. And yeah, detail. Mezco absolutely exceeding in the detail department with these things, for sure. I just wish the teeth looked better. I really wish the teeth looked better. I very much wish the teeth looked a lot better. But these details though, man. I hate that that exists. Ugh. Here's something I just noticed. The dorsal fins on one side look fully painted, while on the other they do not. They are on the back of the neck, or they are on the other side of the back of the neck. For the most part, though, I would say Gorosaurus is rather fantastic, and oh boy, I gotta admit something to all of you. I am having a really hard time deciding on what I'm going to rate these two figures so far, and we still got 2 more to go. Up next is Baragon, and I want to direct your attention to right around here. This guy was covered in fuzz, and I think you can see a little bit of the remnants over here. Yeah, don't know why that was there, likely an accident, but still, $100. And it looks like Baragon's suffering from some GVK Funkoisms over here, because he's got like this dry brushing on his nose over here, yet it's not really present on the rest of his head area. Though I do have to give Mezco credit. Baragon looks fantastic. Is he 100% accurate? I doubt it, but I kinda really don't care. The teeth are definitely a lot better than Gorosaurus, but I do have some reservations with calling them perfect, but the overweighing amount of detail and paint on this guy is sublime. We're not even talking about my favorite part yet. Loving the paint and detail going on for the legs over here. Hating that my toes are scuffed. Directly out of the box. Directly out of the box. More little paint splooches. More fantastic paint and detail, though, regardless of the splooch. I am very much appreciating that Baragon's horn wasn't nicked up in the box as well. That was something that I was expecting. Happy to see that it didn't happen. Really loving how they handled the ears over here. I like that you can still see a majority of the detail on them. And I love how they just fade from the yellow into the brown. I think that looks really, really nice. And I think they look even cooler from the back as well. Very, very nice work. And speaking of which, look at this guy's back. This is magnificent. I really, really love this. I love that all of the ridges on Baragon's back are highlighted. It's almost like he's got rocks protruding from his back, and as he is digging underground, they are just being all scraped and scratched up. It's a very cool little detail. You see what I'm saying? How they almost look scratched on there? Very, very nice. Is that a brush bristle? That's exactly what that looks like. Bristle aside, I am very much impressed with Baragon's paint, especially on his back and on his tail as well. I'm glad that Mezco continued to highlight all of these ridges all the way to the tip of the tail. Some of them, not all of them, can be a little messily applied, but I feel like that just kind of helps the look. You know what I mean? Speaking of which, here's his arms and his claws. Claw paint could have been a little bit better. Definitely not as bad as I'm making it out to be. Paint splooch. A little bit better on this side, save for the nick up here. He's got quite the goofy face, but overall, I think Baragon turned out pretty dang well, save for a few quality control issues. And now for King Ghidorah, which I must say, 1, this is my first Showa-era King Ghidorah figure, really, really liking it. 2, this is the strongest figure out of this box set. Easily. Let's take a look. First off, the shiny gold, I think it's practically perfect. I really don't have an issue with King Ghidorah's base coat at all. Taking a look at the heads, I mean, it's King Ghidorah. The 3 heads really didn't have many different distinctions back in the Showa era, but I think they look rather good. Save for some shoddy teeth on this little fang over here, but I feel like at this point I'm really pushing it with being upset over, you know, one mispainted tooth. The eyes on old Kevin over here are nicely painted, and one thing that I really do love about this figure, I love that his mane isn't just straight brown. They actually touched in a little bit of a darker gold, maybe a lighter brown, if you wish, on the mane over here to highlight it a little bit, so it's not just this flat piece attached to Ghidorah's neck. And for the most part, it's like that on all the heads and on both sides of all the heads. Center head over here definitely fared a lot better when it comes to the teeth, as I'm not seeing anything nearly as egregious as that. But no, I do love the highlights on his mane. I'm loving the detail that went into his head sculpt. It looks fantastic. I do have to correct myself, though. There is some minor highlighting on the bottoms of the manes as well. I guess I shouldn't say minor highlighting, because that just looks downright messy. This looks a bit better, yeah. Now, when talking about the teeth on old Righty over here, yeah, it could have been a little bit better. But just like the other 3 heads, the likeness was absolutely nailed. Did I not mention the pink paint and the detail for the tongue? Well, if I didn't, I think it looks great. It's just, yeah. When it comes to looking at these figures, you gotta look really close for the imperfections. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but he's got a nick on his chin, which I didn't realize earlier. And that teeth paint going on over the gums and everything is a little upsetting. Thankfully, and for the most part though, the rest of Ghidorah just looks fantastic. Look at the power in these wings, man. They definitely look like they could conjure up a hurricane. Loving the absolute sparkles that are present on both sides, no less. This looks... oh, look, another nick in the paint. Dang it. Yeah, I feel like the more I look at these, the more little issues I find, but when it comes to Ghidorah, I think I can excuse it because he looks magnificent. Oh. Did want to make a little note on the tails over here. The detail is perfectly fine, but the paint that was used, and I think these might be of a different material because they feel different, and you can tell that they look different as well. Now, that's not too big of a deal since these are tails and they are going to be positioned behind the figure, so you're really not going to be seeing them too much, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just nitpicking that, but that's just a little weird. But again, the details are rather nice. And they look good on both sides, I do think. Despite my little issues with the teeth and some nicks on the wings, I still do think this is the strongest figure of the set. Both in size, in paint, and in detail. Even though this little area over here, if you can even see that, almost looks like it's not fully painted. But I digress. I am making nitpicks over very, very little things over here. I think it's about time I give my ratings per figure. When it comes to Minya over here, I'm going to give him a solid star in terms of detail, and yeah, I'll give him a solid star in terms of paint as well. Gorosaurus is also going to get a solid star in terms of detail, but paint, this is the toughest one. This guy, I think, has the most wrong with him, be it the teeth, be it the dorsal spikes, and the random stray paint blobs on him. I don't know if I think it's fair enough to give this guy a half a star in terms of the paint, since I do very much enjoy the paint job that he was given. I just very much so wish that it was a little bit better. This is tough. Half a star in terms of paint. One too many flubs. Baragon is also going to get a solid star in terms of detail, and despite my guy having quite the cotton bush over here out of the box, I'm going to give him a solid star in terms of paint as well. He is not without his issues, that is for certain, but he definitely shines above the other two. And finally, Ghidorah. My personal favorite of the set, yet again, not without issues, but he's going to get 2 solid stars in terms of paint and detail. Now we gotta talk about these things' accessories before we get into articulation, so let's just get to doing that. Now each figure does in fact come with a stand, and for the most part they're all the same except for this one. This one has its peg a little bit more off-center, while the rest of these have them more so towards the left and or right, depending on which way you're holding them, so this is weird. I don't know why, but this is, yeah, I don't know. I really don't know with all that. We've got 2 alternate arms for Minya, a breath effect piece for Minya, which was done up rather nicely, aside from some nicks over here, and an alternate head for Minya, which just looks terrible. Yeah. I mean, I don't know whether to attribute this to just being accurate to the suit or what, but no, I'm not a fan of how this face looks, and I am very, very happy that you can just shove that into his little face hole there and cover up his mouth, even though he's still got splendiferous wonk eye going on. Oh man. Baragon has 2 alternate legs over here made for crawling, and the quality control on these nails as well are a little crap. But they do get the point across, and I do think they look nice. Old Barry over here also has an alternate head. This is mostly just used for when you have him on all 4s, but it can be used in any way, shape, or form. And I do think in terms of the teeth, this might be the stronger head. Oh no, never mind. Look at that. Yeah. Not great on the teeth, but they are rather small. But I did pay $100. Oh man, this is going to be a weird review. The rest of the paint matches up with the figure, and the head, for the most part, looks great. Gorosaurus over here comes with nothing. I mean, I think you could have at least given him a stand or an alternate tail to kind of like have him balancing back on it to do the kangaroo kick, but I don't know how they would have implemented that in a nice looking way, so yeah, Gorosaurus got stiffed and just has a stand. Ghidorah, though, has these 3 gravity beams, which are these thin pieces of translucent plastic. They all pretty much do look the same. They have a yellow tint to them, and they get a lot more on the clear side once you get to the peg that goes inside the mouth. For the most part, though, they are delicate feeling. Do not be rough with these if you do decide to get this box set after this review, but I think they look great. And that pretty much covers it when it comes to the accessories. Let's talk about articulation and accessory application. Minya over here can go all the way around at the head, all the way around at the arms, both sides, yes, all the way around at the legs over here, with nothing at the tail. They call it the 5-point set for a reason. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, to get Minya's head off, just like that. And just apply the other head with some pressure, and there you go. He's blowing the sweet ganja donuts. And I still, with those eyes, man. Those freaking eyes. And even from the side, I mean, the breath effect piece looks great, but it's just that mouth. Was the suit really that haggard in the movie? Yeah, probably, now that I think about it. Sweet Mother Mary, just... if you're gonna put the alternate head on, make sure that the breath effect piece is in his mouth, please. To get his arms off, you just need to pull them out, and they are going to be in the position that he has them in when he's blowing his O-rings and such. Dear Lord, that might actually look worse. Yet, just get that in your mouth. There you go! Serviceable! No, I'm being too mean. I do like how this looks, very much so. And the paint all matches up with the base figure, so you're not going to be getting any weird mismatching parts for Minya. And to apply him to the stand, you just do that. There we go, we're done with Minya. Gorosaurus can go all the way around at the head, all the way around at the arm, all the way around at the other arm, all the way around at one leg, and all the way around at the other leg. Nothing at the tail. Yet again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. 5 points of articulation. Baragon, like Gorosaurus, can go all the way around at the head. Do be careful of these ears. I do think they were glued in because I can see a little bit of a shiny seam right there. And I think you can kind of see it here. Yeah, these were definitely glued on. Be careful because they are softer, and if you do put pressure on them, I think they're gonna break. But anyway, you can go all the way around at both arms like so, no issues, and you can go all the way around at the legs as well. Yet again, nothing at the tail. Whenever you're going to change Baragon's head over here, do your best to avoid the ears, and essentially, just like the legs and arms and other head of Minya, all you have to do is press it on. Just pull on the legs, and you're gonna wanna just push the other legs on as well, and there you go. Baragon is on all fours, but I guess in this case 3s, unless you just move the arm like back. And when it comes to applying the stand, locate the hole in the foot, locate the peg, and then just apply some pressure. Now, he doesn't look as good on his stand when he's on all fours, but actually I take that back. I think he looks really good on the stand with all fours, but I think he looks a lot better just standing on his hind legs whilst on the stand. Now when it comes to King Ghidorah and applying the gravity beams, he's gonna have a hole at the back of his throat. So just take a gravity beam of your choice, it doesn't seem to matter, and just gently slide it into his mouth, and it's gonna form a pretty good connection. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be angled upwards like this or angled downwards like that, but I kind of just do it by random, honestly. Rinse and repeat for the other heads, and before you know it, you'll have King Ghidorah spitting his gravity beams from all 3 sides. And when it comes to Ghidorah, the heads are going to move from side to side. Nothing too crazy. I mean, it's all you really need when it comes to Ghidorah. Legs, I wouldn't suggest pushing them to go all the way around, just because you don't want to scratch any paint off of them or anything like that. But yes, the wings do not move, not at all, and neither do the tails, because they've got one of those. You gotta match up the shapes in order for them to stay on. And yet again, not really bummed when it comes to Ghidorah and his lack thereof articulation, aside from the heads and the legs. And I really don't think I need to explain, but yeah, there you go. There's Ghidorah on his stand. And oh, my bad, Gorosaurus, let's get you on your little standee as well. Even though, yet again, I don't think any of these figures really need the stand whatsoever. They all stand on their own, perfectly fine, with or without their accessories. I really like these figures and all their accessories. Minya definitely could have been done up a little better in terms of the paint, but when it comes to somebody like Ghidorah or even Baragon, I feel like we got all we really needed. Ghidorah just needs gravity beams. Baragon needs to crawl on all fours. Minya, I mean, it accomplished him looking derpy, so I'll give him that. So as far as accessories and articulation goes, Ghidorah is going to get a solid star for his accessories and for his articulation, as well as everybody else except for Gorosaurus because he didn't get any accessories. Now let's take a look at this here box. We've got a nice big box, and it does look pretty freaking cool, but in comparison to the Ultraman box, I definitely think Ultraman got the better box. You know, I really don't have any major critiques for this, it's just the colors used kind of remind me of a cranberry juice stain a little bit. I mean, you know, stylistically, I think it matches up pretty well. I don't know. It's just when it comes to the color palette of choice, it looks kinda ugly. That's all. And for any of you who bought the Ultraman 5-point set, this diorama is perfect for these figures. Granted, it's a little on the small side for all 4 of them, but I think you creative minds out there can do some cool things with these. Just wanted to add that in there. Size comparison time? Small, medium, large, related. So in closing, was it all worth it? Personally, I'm half and half. Yeah, you get 4 figures, a cool looking box, and some accessories. I definitely think Mezco delivers on the details, and I think they deliver on the paint for the most part, and I really do love all the little accessories included. I guess this is just a little bit of my SH Monster Arts brain rot leaking through. For $85 and eventually $100 after shipping, I was expecting maybe a little bit too much. Yes, I am absolutely in stitches to see what round 1 has to offer, as well as the yet-to-be-released Mothra and Ghidorah sets, but I am a little weary now. Hopefully it's all for nothing. I can definitely understand the disappointment from fans when it comes to the price, since we now have 2 hefty in the price lines with us. And I really do think that we drastically need that middle ground figure line to fill the hole that NECA left. And even though I would say that I am more so positive towards this set than negative, I'll admit it. I think the worst thing about this set is mainly just in the price, because it really is worth it. It just doesn't feel worth it. Does that make any sense? Probably not. QC issues aside, these are some amazing, chonky, and stacked figures with a lot to offer for the willing collector. Yeah, no matter what, I am going to be bummed about those QC issues, but it's not like I have 4 copies of SH Monster Arts' Shin Godzilla in the form of different monsters here. They still really are amazing figures with some things that I'm not crazy about, but I'd take what I'm not crazy about with these over something like SH Monster Arts Shin Godzilla any day. Plus, just look at this Ghidorah. How could you say no? I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't. But anyway, that's about enough out of me. I'm gonna go take a 23-hour long nap. I do so hope you enjoyed this review. Sound off in the comment section down below. Was I too easy on these figures? Was I too hard on these figures? Are you picking up the Destroy All Monsters round 1 and 2 box sets? Are you not picking those things up? Anything and all, let me know, please. And until next we meet, which will be on Monday, we will finally be taking a look at the brand new Playmates figures, Ferocious Kong and City of Destruction Godzilla. There are quite a few reviews of these all over YouTube, so I really don't know what I can add to the pot of opinion on these, but hey, we'll see. It's a new video, it's a Monday, good way to start the week. See you then, see you there, goodbye, peace, and I don't know, something witty.